All right. Welcome to another Crossroads podcast, number 71, I believe. I'm your boy, Jake Ryan.
And I am your boy, James LaFountain.
Yeah. What's
It's your
happening?
boy.
Flavor Flav.
Right.
He has a podcast. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's pretty funny. It's cool. I seen him on Steve-O's podcast, and
Yep.
so then I went and checked his out. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just watching some 1989 teenagers in a record store.
What
It
is
was like
that?
it was just like some home video of these teenagers in 1989.
Oh,
Because there's a bunch of those, like what life was like. I seen one earlier today on Reddit actually of it was like 1930, just at a park, just all the random people. Yeah.
wow. Yeah, cameras back then. I seen some cameras from way back in the day. Like on my TikTok, it'll be like, back when they had horse carriages
Mm-hmm.
that captured video.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess should we hit the intro, take it back to the crossroads?
You don't gotta ask me, bro.
Back in the day.
You're the captain of this ship.
This baby's gonna sink then.
Well, you have affirmative. Run it.
We're sending this baby down to the depths of the ocean, and this baby's a submarine, in case you didn't know. It's submarine, rocket ship, UFO.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm going down with the ship.
Hell yeah.
All right.
There's a place where deals are made and the legends are born. You boys know what to do. Sure, we know what to do. And that is not to let the devil know anything.
Yeah.
Down to the crossroads. Hopefully the audio sounds clear on my end. It sounded a little glitchy, but it's all good. How's life in your area, man?
Pretty good, man. Weather's getting a little gloomier.
Yeah.
It's been raining the past day or two.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of rain today. It may snow tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's looking pretty cool with the orange leaves falling.
Mm-hmm.
But I like fall and winter. Sorta.
I just don't like driving in it, man. Like I like driving in town isn't bad, but I hate highway driving in the snow, man.
I hate driving in town too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had some some close calls, just like almost sliding into people, and not braking early enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I feel more comfortable driving on the highway. Sometimes I do, because I'm like, there's not all these traffic lights and like go, stop, go, stop.
It's just you got to get going to a certain speed, but at the same time, like if you lose control, even going like 55 or 60.
That's true. It is scary.
I mean, you'll probably be fine, but you don't want to fuck your shit up, like
True that.
still wreck your car, kind of.
How's your car been?
It's been good.
Nice. That's all. What is it? All-wheel drive?
Nah, man.
Two-wheel drive?
Yeah, it's front wheel drive.
Hmm.
Which is whatever. I was looking for something all-wheel drive. When this car was in the shop and they were fixing it, they gave me a loaner, and it was a couple years newer, and it was all-wheel drive. And I'm like, man, like I got all used to driving that car, and
Mm-hmm.
it just drove better. It felt nicer, it felt a little lower to the ground. And so yeah, something like that would be nice, but it's got to get some good winter tires,
True that. I mean, you might be able to one day do some sort of trade thing if you're trying to switch cars at that place. I don't really know. but they might work deals like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really sure. I still got my old Ford and the Jeep, which they both have 4-wheel drive
Yep.
and, lower gears. But I can't wait to get a new truck one day.
Hell yeah, dude.
But she's holding up. So that's all that
Your
matters to me right now.
your Ford,
Yeah.
right?
The Jeep's good. I mean, there's like the check gauges light comes up. One of the gauges like doesn't read properly, but it's not like a big concern.
Yeah.
So what's new in your world? Anything?
Shit, not much, man. It's been
Same old, same old.
working. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've just been working construction, trying to do a little bit more making beats,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get back into cartooning a little bit more.
Cartooning.
Yeah. I've been doing some graphics, but the animations is something I really like. At least till I was like, if I promote my beats with like a little cartoon guy sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people might be entertained by that stuff online a little bit more.
Just like animated type stuff.
Yeah, just like me talking like, yo, what's up, guys? I usually do some like exaggerated surfer voice for myself,
Right.
but I feel like people, I could get on there and say like, yo, what's happening? Go check out the beats in the beat shop. I got some sale going on. But if I'm like, yo, what's happening, everybody? And it's a cartoon version of me in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
they might be like, oh, yeah, dude, I'll check it out.
Right.
So just trying some more of that. And I'm just trying to I've had a slow week of work in construction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get my other income streams a little more popping.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that what you were working on earlier? Was the
well,
animations?
I have been working on that recently because my graphics card, I need to upgrade it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it won't be able to render and export it. I'll start overheating. It'll shut down.
Dang.
So my laptop is capable, has a better GPU. So just kind of going through that technical stuff. But earlier I was editing some kind of like vlog stuff.
Right.
I'm just kind of trying to vlog my life a little bit more, even though it's not that entertaining and I might not get a bunch of views. I'm just like, whatever. Just keep doing it. And I set up my basketball hoop recently, so I've been getting a lot of footage with the basketball hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ball? You a baller?
Not a baller, man.
Not a baller?
I mean, I like it. I just never like got real into it or good at it or anything. I tried out for basketball, I think in like elementary school, and they were like, nah.
Those mother bloppers.
um
I was denied in high school. Other than that, I always played, and I was like, dude, because I'm like, I do basketball camp, and I'm like, I'm
mhm.
pretty skilled on the court. I just like shooting hoops, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Beside the game and the team, and
right,
shooting hoops is fun.
for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, I'll play the fuck out of some horse,
Some horse, some pig. You
some
ever play
around the
lightning?
world. I don't know.
It's like where people will stand in a line and the one guy shoots and then the person behind him shoots, and if they make it before him, then that guy's out.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
if
think I played that.
it's fun. But yeah, just getting the kids into shooting hoops. And yeah, I was working on a job for somebody. It was like their shop, their mother-in-law suite or whatever, another place, just another little apartment off of their shop.
Yeah.
Dude, this place was massive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like the shop was huge. Like you could fit a tank in there.
Right.
you know, it's a shop so that they can have a lift to work on cars.
Mm-hmm.
And the little apartment area was super dope. It was large, and you know, then we are kind of joking. There's this other area had like a basketball hoop and some skateboards and like a little pitch back. And we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be working on your basketball court at all? Like joking around. And he's like, not right now, but that thing is pretty cool, huh? We're gonna have a half court size. It's like,
Yeah.
dang, dude, you actually are putting a basketball court out here?
Yep.
That's baller.
Yeah, dude. I was just in the office the other day at work, and the dude was designing. He's showing me this house he's working on, and yeah, it had a big. It was pretty much just what you just described. It might have been the same fucking place,
Hmm.
but no, because this this place wasn't built yet. But
Hmm.
yeah, dude, fucking he was just telling me that one of the places he was designing was like Maury Povich, his guest house. Was I telling you about that?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maury Povich, he's the one that's like, you are not the father.
Yeah.
Wow, that dude's still kicking, huh? He was pretty old back in the day on his show, too.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
His show's still going, huh?
I think it might be.
Huh. Dang. Him and Montel Williams. They got it on lock. Jerry Springer, though, I was always a fan of some Springer.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch a lot of Maury and Montel, though. I hate to admit it.
Yeah, me too, probably.
Judge Judy. But you know, Montel would get Sylvia Brown, the like psychic medium.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever see her?
I think so.
She's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, back when I only had like 3 channels, we didn't have cable, you know,
Mm-hmm.
those shows would be on.
Right.
But
Oh yeah.
dude, aside from those shows, okay, out at this house, we're talking about the shop and with the lift, you know?
Yep.
And homie's like, yeah, I've also thought it'd be cool to have a place where you pull the car on top of and all your tools and everything are underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you step down and it's like, oh, at first I thought you were talking about like an underground bunker. And he's like, well, he's building that over there. And there
Yeah.
was guys pouring foundation. I was like, what?
Dude.
Dang.
Everybody's doing that, man.
I can't wait till I'm doing that.
I mean, Montana's the spot for it too. Like everybody's got a spot in Montana somewhere.
Well, I hope to be a part of that group of people one day. I just gotta get my money way up. Whew.
Dude.
I need to make
Yeah.
100,000 a year.
To afford a bunker.
Or just in general right now. I'm like, I probably make around 50,000, you know, 40, 50,000. But I've just been thinking, I'm like, okay, I got to get to 100,000. Cause I'm like, dude, I got to get to a $500,000 one day.
Fucking A.
And I'm just like, how am I going to do that though? Like, I've been thinking about, you know, these multiple streams. I got to get better at the investing. I've thought about doing some schooling again, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was I talking to you about that?
Maybe.
I would just like to get into building better, you know, like general contracting or, you know, so I could actually build and know everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's building the walls been?
Building the walls has been pretty bomb. Nah,
Yeah?
it's been all right, man. We finally got a new guy, and It's I don't know. It sucks just having people just shadow you, like,
Oh, right.
because he's not really allowed to like shoot the nail guns or anything
Mhm.
until I don't know how long, 10 days or some shit.
You're
So
pretty good shot with the nail gun,
me?
like Happy Gilmore. I am a pretty good shot with the nail gun
Oh,
till I shot my boss in the head.
nah, fucking um yeah, those guns are pretty scary sometimes, man, because sometimes you never know it's not even anything you do really. They just, it's a machine, but sometimes they're unpredictable. Um,
I never used a nail gun much.
yeah, I don't know, man. I just wish they were like cordless because that's the only thing that really sucks about it is being attached to the fucking air hose.
Oh, yeah.
Like you get used to holding the gun. When I first started working there, man, my wrist was so jacked up just from holding that gun all day.
Right.
And so yeah, I don't know if I just got over it or the carpal tunnel like really set in or something, but it's fine now. But yeah, just being attached to that air hose all day kind of sucks.
I do wear when I'm drywall drilling, I can feel it in my arm because I don't do it that much.
Hmm.
But I'll wear a little slip thing
Brace.
on the wrist. It's not really like a total brace with like straps and plastic and
Oh, just
stuff.
like a compression sleeve type thing.
Yeah. And it actually does help.
Yeah, I don't know, like I my wrist was kind of getting messed up from it. Just like when I started working back there again.
Hmm.
And I started wearing one of those compression sleeves and it seemed like it started to get worse.
Oh, really?
Because I was like, I don't know if it's just me focusing on it so much now because I have the sleeve on. I'm like, how does my wrist feel like all day?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it might be like a little compression sleeve. It's just really like, it's pretty light cloth. It doesn't squeeze too much. But
Hmm.
it's, sometimes I wonder about it, but I'm also just like, yo, I gotta make sure to take care of this baby for playing guitar and, you know,
Yeah,
just with skateboarding and other things like that. I'm just like, man, this baby, the wear and tear on the body is a real thing.
for sure. Yeah, dude.
But, you've been playing any guitar at all?
Nah, man. Not
You
really.
been making any music or just busy with work?
I've been making a little bit of music, just kind of just messing around,
Mm-hmm.
putting stuff together. Um, Last thing I really spent any time on was the intro for the podcast. That was
I do
like
dig that.
that was fun.
Are you still doing some podcasting? I've been checking up on you, be like, yes, you got a
Nah,
new podcast out?
I quit podcasting.
You're retired?
Nah, man,
Get your 401k?
yep, I'm cashing out. Cashing out fucking 6 episodes in. No, I just haven't done one.
I feel that. I mean, sometimes I'll go on a good run and then other times I'm just get caught up in life and
For sure. Yeah, man, I'm really just trying to like conserve energy because if I started getting burnt out at work, that's when everything else kind of sucks.
yeah, it affects your mood and your
Hmm.
health.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, that's hopefully we start getting more people in there though, because I mean I'm not super stoked about this new guy that we got in there. Like,
why, young guy?
nah,
New
man, he's
guy?
a couple years older than me, but I don't know, man. I don't want to be like too harsh right away, but I'm like a pretty forgiving person as far as like judging people and shit like that. But just as far as workers go, like some people just have that work ethic, and some people don't. Some people are just slower and a little lazier. And
Hmm.
so I think he's kind of one of those guys, like he'll do the job, but he's not really like, for me, I'm like, just a little pep in your step goes a long way, you know, just as far as like, you know, if you're helping someone out and shit and you're just kind of like slowly walking around and like, oh, what do I do here? And just like taking forever to do stuff, you know, I'm like, come on. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. It's I was talking to my cousin the other day just about, business type stuff. Just, being independent contractors, we got to be like on top of all these different things, like paying our insurance all the time and receipts and accounting. And
Hmm.
I don't really get into talking about finances with people like how much money you making? I'm making this much money, blah 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 blah. Because I just don't like having those conversations. And some people do. They're like, I made this much money this year, and people kind of start boasting sometimes when they're doing well. And you know, there's some other people in our life that they have dreams of starting a coffee shop. And I've known some people that have had coffee shops, and I'm just like, man, they're like pretty expensive to run a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like the overhead, the supplies, paying for employees, and your percentage of profit is probably you're going to probably make like 30% profit. And nobody's going to work as hard as you for your own business.
Yeah.
People are going to slack off. And I know this because when I get a job at wherever, a restaurant or wherever like that, sure, I'd work hard, but I'd also like still be slack and be like, yeah, I'm going to take my,
For sure. I
time here.
Everybody does it though. Like every single job, everybody does it where there's at least moments where you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking stand here for a second, you know. But some people, it's like it's a spectrum, you know. Some people, I don't know, they just don't make it as obvious, you know, and like you pick your times when to do it. And I feel like, I don't know, you're already gonna be there and you already have to do these things. So you might as well just kind of get lost in the work instead of just looking at the clock all day and being like, oh man, I wish I couldn't, or wish I was back in my bed or whatever, you know, like,
Yeah, I was thinking about that today after my group meeting, which kind of the topic today was about, sometimes if you're in a bad mood or whatever, and a lot of times people like turn to substance. And he was like saying, some people, my wife would always say, like, sometimes you just need a nap or a sandwich. And so we were just kind of talking about the things that help you in times where you're struggling. And so I should have hit you up last week because my wife and kids were out of town.
mhm,
I don't know why I didn't. But I was going hard on the beats. I was like,
right.
dude, I gotta crank these babies out because I need extra money right now. I'm trying to supplement my construction. So I'm like, dude, I gotta figure out how to produce more and market better. But anyways, my wife and kids are out of town, so I'm like alone with my thoughts. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm trying to keep myself busy, but I could get drunk. I thought in my head's like, Jake, you could go get drunk or high. Nobody's gonna know. And I'm just like wrestling all these temptations in my head, like, you could like surf on the internet and check out some porn or try to contact a girl. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I getting these thoughts? I don't want to do none of this shit. So it was just weird because I was like, and I couldn't even just like meditate and like shut off my thoughts.
Yeah.
It's just weird being like, I'm having trouble just not doing anything.
Hmm.
So it was weird. And that again, like what you were saying about work, I was like, sometimes I just got to be grateful for working.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I've been, man. Like for and I notice it most too, like when I'm getting up, because like when you very first start a new job and waking up in the morning is like you're like up, and you're kind of stoked. You're like, fuck yeah, it's the first day.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, just like not even that long ago, a couple months ago or something, I started just not really sleeping in, but just being like just wanting to sleep in more, and be like, fuck, I don't want to get up.
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
And yeah, and then just, being at work, like just like I was saying, be like, oh, I don't even want to be here. This shit sucks.
Right.
Um, yeah, like you really it's just like a momentum thing, like once you get into it and you get working and shit, and I don't know, my shit's a little different because it's kind of like a factory setting, it's not really like the same as like framing out in the wild. So,
Yeah, you're always in the same place. Like me, I'm always switching from
mhm,
this job to that job to this job. We might be in town, out of town,
right. Yeah.
and that was something I had to get used to, but it did keep me a little more entertained, I guess, or just being like, all right, cool, this is different. It's a smaller place, it's a bigger place. Because if I was just working in the studio on the computer all the time, too, I get burnt out. I'm like, dude,
Yeah. Yeah, man, just it mixes it up. Um, yeah, so I was getting kind of burnt out at work and shit, and so I'm just trying to pace myself, and like you said, find those reasons to be grateful just to have a job. Because like when you're broke, man, you're like, fuck, dude, I would like, you know, you start like selling your shit for like $50 or whatever, or just whatever, like your relationship with money is a lot different. Um,
well, I've been having those thoughts recently when work would slow down, like jobs get delayed, people go with other people, or just whatever that happens in life. And that's another one of my reasons why I'm like, I gotta have the beat shop, gotta do graphic designs, gotta collect some royalties from, just streaming of my own music, and I gotta sell my feet pics online.
mhm,
And I'm my
never forget that.
OnlyFans, dude, I've been killing it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
uh, but so I have those thoughts too, where I'm like, do I have anything I could sell that I'm willing to part with that is worth enough for me to even be like, yeah, I'll sell that.
Yeah, dude, like
And I'm like, I don't want to sell anything.
for sure. It's crazy, man, because just even the past like 2 years, um, just how much prices have gone up, and I don't know, man. Like when I first moved here, I would have killed to make what I'm making right now, and I'm
Right.
not living like I mean, it is paycheck to paycheck, kind of, but not in the sense where I'm like at when I'm about to get paid, I'm like completely broke, like, but
Right.
it is basically paycheck to paycheck when you don't have like a fucking giant savings where you could live off of like a year or two or whatever.
Oh yeah. And I mean, $1,000 nowadays ain't that much money. Even 10,000. Like I'll be like, yo,
Mhm.
gotta get to, because if I'll get like $10,000 in the bank, and then it just, when money starts to dwindle down, and you're like, shit, I'm at like 5,000. Shit, it's going down. I need to get this shit back up again. Because
Right.
recently when I got COVID, I'm like, well, I missed work for a bit, and that put me back. And then other bills hit that are unexpected. I'm like, shit, man. There's another
Mhm.
$1,000 that was unexpectedly went out or wasn't made.
Yeah.
And that's one of my biggest reasons for always saving money is I'm like, dude, you never know what happens.
For sure.
And it's just that's life too. Once you start getting ahead, all these other things pop up. And
Yep, more money, more problems.
yeah, dude. And so just still trying to figure out these things. I'll get kind of hard on myself sometimes because I'm like, I haven't already figured it out, all these other ways of making money yet, and just when I see other people online in different areas that are making some bank, like doing something like streaming video games or whatever their other business might be.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the hell? How are they doing this? Or just those types of things. I'll get hard. I'll come down on myself. I'll start to get depressed. And I'm like, nah, dude, you gotta, don't get depressed.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's why when I go on the internet to compare myself to people, I compare myself to the shittiest people possible.
Dude, it's like when Kaylee on his friends recently said something that was like, she was all drunk. And I think it was a while back. And saying like, yeah, I like to surround myself with people that are less attractive than me so that
Right.
I'm always like the hot one in the group.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what the? I'm sure people think that way. They're like, oh, well, I gotta have my
Yeah,
fat friend in the group, and
for sure.
she's like, dude, man, it's just sad that that's human psychology.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a thing called like the cheerleader effect where like if you put a group of women together, they all look more attractive as opposed to them. Like if you view them individually, you'll find them more attractive if they're grouped with other kind of like similar looking females.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense.
It's weird.
Like they put like a bunch of chicks in bikinis in a group or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I don't know if it's probably the same for guys too. If chicks are like they see like a men's fitness or something that's like, yo, there's like 5 dudes just lined up and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I would
Just a
just
bunch
be
of
all
bros
over
on the
these guys.
beach.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I just finished watching Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not really changing the subject because what I was thinking of was his attraction to
Mm-hmm.
people,
Right.
and where I'm like, dude, this guy's like a necrophiliac or
Yeah, the
something.
fucking the psychologist in the show said the word of what it was, where you're like attracted to fucking gore, basically.
Yeah, I just started watching the Dahmer tapes. I have a couple more episodes. But the show with the actor from American Horror Story, that was sucked me right in, dude.
Dude, yeah. I started watching that and I'm like, man, I think I might have told you about this. I'm like, this guy looks so much like my brother. Like
Yeah. Brother's probably
not
like, what?
I didn't I didn't tell him, but yeah, not Jeffrey Dahmer, but the actor,
Right.
And then yeah, I looked it up and found out who it was, and I'm like, dang, he did a pretty good transformation because I didn't even recognize him until I looked it up.
Yeah, I would just get so lost in the character too that I would forget it was him acting.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's pretty interesting. I can't believe he got away with it for so long.
Dude,
But
I seen something that was like there's anywhere from like 25 to 50 active serial killers in North America.
right now,
Mm-hmm.
that they can't track down.
I guess,
Or
yeah.
that's like statistics of this is the average.
It was something like that, right? Don't don't question me too much on
Are you one of them, James?
it. Why would I bring the article up?
Just to cover your ass.
It's hiding in plain sight. Damn it.
Exactly, man.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that was the other interesting thing was how his father said that he would have those thoughts as well when he was younger and growing up.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason why I kind of strayed, being associated with different people in the music scene. There's obviously like the horror core, like
Mhm.
music, and I do like some horror movies, and I am fascinated with the psychology and like serial killer documentaries. But I'm like, man, I just can't really like, right? Like that, like Eminem would put himself in the state of mind as like a serial killer.
Right.
I'm like, man, I don't really want to play around with that.
Yeah. I get it. Um I don't know, man. You can't really help what you're interested in. Like,
That's true.
um, I think about that stuff sometimes too, because if I was like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna write a horror story, then I'm just writing all this really crazy stuff that might not go anywhere. And then it's like I'm just some dude writing some like grotesque, you know, whatever, death filled, like. But
Right.
when Stephen King does it, it's cool, but when I'm in here in my apartment just like typing up some, nightmarish type stuff. So
Well,
I get
yeah.
that. But like I said, like you can't help what you're interested in. Some people are just you gravitate towards what you're interested in, and that's like I feel like that's something that's just like inside you,
Well, that
because
was the interesting thing about the show too, was the insanity or evil, where especially since he was in like to Satanism,
right.
and that's when you start to think of like you say inside of you, where if there's like evil spirits or energies, they're getting inside of you, because I do believe that can be a real thing, because I feel like I've had those experiences in life where it's like, oh man, like little Nicky, release the good or release the evil.
Right.
Where I'm like, well, yeah, you can definitely be involved with these different energies or spirits that could be working through you, possibly. The creative force, whatever that is, when you get to drawing or writing or producing music,
Hmm.
it's interesting because I've definitely felt some different vibes sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get so creeped out. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm alone in here in the room in the darkness. And I'm just like, dude, I feel like somebody's behind me.
Right.
And I'm like, I know there's not, but I feel like in the physical world, but sometimes I feel like there was like some, I hate to admit it, but I'd feel like there was like darker entities in the same room as me.
Hmm.
Sometimes then I'd be producing or working on stuff, especially if I got down a rabbit hole on YouTube. It was like some creepy stuff.
Right.
Like, oh my God, dude,
Yeah.
I'm getting the shivers, man.
It's weird how like I don't know. I do believe in that type of stuff kind of, but it is also weird how you can like freak yourself out.
Mm,
You really can just get yourself up in a like just a state of alertness where you're like, just like you're saying, like, oh, something's around me.
start getting paranoid.
Yeah, I mean, but like, because like if you just think about it's the same thing of like watching it just like a horror movie, ghost movie about ghosts or something. And then afterwards, you're like, Because I always think about that, like when I was younger and I'd be scared of a movie or something, I would be like, well, what about all the other nights when I wasn't thinking about this and I wasn't scared and nothing happened, you know? So why is tonight any different just because I watched this scary movie and I'm thinking about this stuff?
True that. It is weird how that influence on our mind and how, what you consume, whether it's like, because I mean, looking at visuals, that's why I have that fascination too with, you know, making videos, like, and being like, well, you could come up with something that's, how's it going to make people feel? Like if you do something that's dark and scary, it could just be, a dead tree in the yard in a black and white video that's all sketchy. Some people might be like, oh my God, I don't want to see that. Versus, you get a video of a flower in the sunlight with vibrant colors. And just the two
Mhm.
different ways it makes you feel.
For sure. Well, yeah, like video is not supposed to exist. Like it's not natural, you know? So like if we see something, like our brain part of it is like, oh, we're actually seeing that happen, you know?